were talking a little bit about our channels, and you said you've been cutting hair. It sounds like you've been staying busy. I haven't been in Instagram as much as I used to be, so maybe I'm just missing out on what on seeing who's active and who's not. Obviously, I haven't really been cutting. But with that being said, we're going to be talking about something that we've been holding off. I don't know if it's been on purpose. I don't think it's been on purpose. I think it just doesn't really become a comfortable conversation, to be honest with y'all. But
Well,
I
you
feel
ask it, are you gonna ask me if I'm circumcised?
no, I know you're
Oh.
not. I know you're not. You're Mexican. I was messing with you. So we're gonna talk about a
Hey, man,
difficult subject.
only man's.
Only
Subscribe,
men's. Yeah.
subscribe. You'll find
And
out.
you will know when you're there.
Anteater or no?
So something that no one wants to talk about. I don't hear anybody on YouTube talking about it. I don't hear no podcast talking about it. It's a difficult conversation. Some people may or may not want to hear this conversation, but it's a reality we live in. And I actually more or less would like to hear in the comment section more about this, how it's affected you. If you work in a barbershop, how has it affected your everyday work, your life, your family situation, which is COVID, this
Mm.
whole pandemic. Some people call it pandemic. Some people say it's real, some people say it's fake, some people are not worried about it, some people are super worried about it, some people are, not no one way or another about it. I want to know how it's affected your life, Fades. I know a little bit about it, you know what I mean, in the beginning, but I don't know how you're living with it today, how your family's doing, how your job has been impacted by, if it's been impacted, good or bad.
My job has not been impacted at all, except for now that they're the entire company is requesting that every employee gets a vaccine.
Wow, see, and
I'm
I didn't
I,
know that.
I'm more worried about the vaccine than I am the actual COVID,
Okay.
in my opinion, because I had COVID.
Mhm.
Y la neta, way, like I was coughing almost nonstop. It was just constant cough. But it lasted 3 days. That
Yeah.
coughed it. Y no dormí for 3 days. Like 3 days no
Damn.
dormí. And it wasn't cool. I mean, it wasn't cool about it. I wouldn't, it was horrible. But it's like everything, you know what I'm saying? You have to go through it and let your body fight it off naturally. And now I feel if somebody had COVID, I go make out with them. You know what I'm saying? If it was a chick. If it was a chick, calm down. Don't get
Okay, wait a
nasty.
minute. Wait a
Don't
minute.
get don't get
Wait a
nasty.
minute.
Only men's. Hey, so nah, because I feel that confident that I
Can
eat a
I
lot of
can I ask you why specifically you feel that confident?
because I had it and I fought it. I don't like, ¿cómo te diré? As an adult,
Mhm.
I think I've gotten sick twice in my entire adult life.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a good immune system. I feel like once I got that sickness, because I had strep throat, I never got it again.
Yeah.
And then I had just like the regular flu. I think it was a flu or something.
Mhm.
And I never got sick. I never had that again, and
Your
that only
body build
lasted.
up enough antibodies for it.
I eat a lot of jalapenos too, carnal.
Hey, that and beans. I'll
Yeah,
tell you what.
I love beans, dog. And it's not even a
Hey,
Mex. It's not
did you
even a Mexican
know
thing.
that the number one man killer, and specifically in the US, is colon cancer? And the most bestest thing you could do to naturally strengthen the possibilities of you
The
not having colon
colon?
cancer is eating beans. Just so you know.
Oh, really?
Hey, that's a real thing, bro. Mexicans ain't
Oh,
getting no colon cancer out here, bro. Hey, let me knock on some wood for that real quick. But yeah, good for you. Keeping them beans, bro.
oh
No, but
yeah.
you were talking
Eating
about you feel
beans
like your immune system is strengthened because you had it.
because I had it, so I'm not really worried.
So let me
And
ask you
now,
this. And this isn't my perspective because I don't know enough about the stuff. So I'm not going to fight anything or anyone. What about those people that say doctors are saying that this is completely different? This is not like the flu, that your body's actually it doesn't get stronger against it. If anything, it's weakened certain things in your body that if you got it again, it'd be worse. And that there's scientific proof for that. What would you tell those people?
and I have a. I mean, I'm gonna I'm gonna respond in the most scientific
Yeah,
way I possibly can. Mis huevos.
cool. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm sorry. Let me be more. Just let me be more specific. Mis pinches huevos.
Fair. Very fair.
Nah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be all right. I think it's honestly, dog. All right. And I don't know if people are gonna rock with me. People are gonna be like, "Man, FaZe by Morales is crazy now."
No, I mean, here's the thing
I'm
about
I'm
this.
I'm,
Our
I'm gonna say
conversation is a
I'm
conversation.
okay. No. And you know, I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I think that your mind has so much power and so much potential
Oh yeah.
that we don't ever tap into.
No.
So if you were thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. And if you feel like it's like poison ivy, dog. I don't know. Do you guys even have poison ivy in California?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so like you can go to poison ivy, and if you're in your mindset, you say, "Dang, I'm gonna get poison ivy. I just touched poison ivy." Then you're gonna get poison ivy. But if you go up there and be like, "Me vale madre," like grab whatever you had to grab out of there, you will not get it, dog. It's in your mind.
Well, your brain tells your body what to feel, what to do, what to make out of things. Like that's how
Exactly.
we feel pain. The only way, like what is pain? Pain is something you're feeling, right? It's a feeling itself, right?
Yes.
So it's all in your head. So I do believe you there, and I am 100% with you on there. What I would say is my perspective changes a little bit. I'm not anybody to be afraid of things. To be honest with you, I don't fear much of anything. The only fear I have in life is leaving my kids unattended. Full honesty, like not leaving them set up for life, be it financially or just morally correct. That's the
Yo,
only
that's
fear.
horrible.
Yeah, that's the only fear that I have in life. Nothing else. I have seen death in my face a solid 5 times where you could say I should have been dead. You know what I mean? I've been, I've had a lot of near life death, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how you say that shit situations in my life for me to be afraid of things like that. You know what I mean? But I've seen some shit over the last couple of years. I can tell you that that whole theory of your body does get deteriorated. I don't know if it's true for everyone. I very much highly doubt it's true, but I see it with the people who I know. I haven't gotten COVID, but every person in my family that I know has gotten it. You know what I mean? Both from my side of the family, you know what I mean, and my wife's side of the family. Every household, aside from one household in ours, has gotten it, and like everybody has. You know what I mean? And here's the deal: is out of everyone, which is hundreds of people, only I can't say only because that's a shitty thing to say, but I've lost 3 people in my life. I've lost a friend who was a family member, but he was not blood family. You know what I mean? I've lost a cousin, and I lost a brother, my wife's brother to be exact. But that dude was like my brother. You know what I mean? The 3 of them were around my age. They hadn't hit 40 yet. They were in their 30s. The 3 of them didn't have any major health situations. You know what I mean? They were probably my height, weight. You know what I mean? I'm a chunky dude, but I'm not like I'm chunky. Let's leave it at that. You know what I mean? But I can get around. It's not like it's an issue of any sort. And the 3 of them were the 3 people out of my family who were also not afraid. Uh, they were living life perfectly fine. They were the 3 that were like, I don't need no vaccine. Those were the 3 people out of everybody in my family that said, I don't need a vaccine. It's too much of a coincidence for me. You know what I mean? For me to not understand the science behind it and believe that that does have something to do. So that's where my perspective comes from. It's from what I've seen. I don't listen to the media. If you know me, you know that I'm not a political person. I think politics are fucking stupid. Full honesty. And the reason why I think about that is because I've been affiliated to a group of individuals who were all thinking stupid shit. You know what I mean? And it wasn't politics, it was stupid gang shit. You know what I mean? But I see politics as that. So I don't allow for one group of people or another group of people to feed my mind. I'm not that person. You know what I mean? I make my own perspective in life. And just like you, I actually think very similar than you. I do think that you have to live life, that you cannot tell yourself, if I get sick, this is going to happen. What if this, what if that? Like, that's a shitty way to live. But I also can't close my eyes. You know what I mean? When I'm seeing something happen in front of me, I can put 2 and 2 together. And the whole thing I was telling you about with your body, like how it affects it, my pops had it. My pops was one of the first persons who had it. And he literally said he barely made it. You know, like he told me there's a couple moments, and he told me this months later, which is shitty of my pops. But hey, he told me, hey, I don't want to feel bad, make y'all feel bad. But there was a couple moments where I felt like calling everybody and letting y'all know that I love you and that I might not make it another day when I was sick. He was sick for 21 days straight. Couldn't breathe. Yeah,
What?
exactly. He was bad, him and my mom. So it was shitty, you know what I mean? And he is struggling with health conditions now because of it, with blood pressure and stuff like that. So it does have repercussions on your body, depending, like you said, you had 3 days. That shit most likely didn't do anything to your body that it's going to hinder it for the rest of its life. You know what I mean? But when somebody does struggle with that shit, when their immune system is just like, nah, bro, like this ain't for you. Like I believe that you might have some repercussions for the rest of your life, and it may affect the way you live. So I don't think it's a joke. I'm not going to go and tell people what to do. I respect anyone's opinion. If you say it's not, the vaccine ain't for me or the vaccine's for me, cool. I'm perfectly okay with that. You know what I mean? But I don't also like people who like say, no, you have to get the vaccine. Don't you know this and that? It's like, okay, you don't need to be that person. Or the person says, well, now fuck that. I'm not going to get the vaccine. I'm gonna walk around maskless everywhere I will. I don't care. And I'm gonna cough on your face. It's like, you're not cool either. Like, I don't respect the hate that's going on between people. I'm like, have your opinion.
It's another division, huh?
Exactly. Respect the person in front of you. If they
so
feel a
divided.
certain way, exactly, bro. Like, why? I'm gonna tell
Everything
you,
is division. Everything is
Everything.
divided.
it's shitty.
Male, female, black, white.
Yep.
Everything is division, dog.
It
Like,
is. It's almost like you would think there's this group above us that just happens to stamp our paychecks every day, or make sure that our paychecks get stamped, I should say, that wants it to be that way. So again, I'll say it again, and I'm sorry, but fuck politics. I'm sorry if I'm offending you, if you're a very political person. I understand politics must exist because decisions must be made and people have to be put in power. I understand that. I'm not saying that. Do you know what I mean? But I do believe that you should step out of your comfort zone. Or at least I believe for myself that I need to step outside my comfort zone and say, I'm gonna make my own decisions. I'm gonna say when something's right or wrong because of what I know, because of what I feel, not because of what everybody in that group of individuals is saying or feeling, especially when it's a bunch of hate towards another group of people. Like, I got friends on both sides, but what do I have to say? I got friends on both sides. I just got friends. You know what I mean? That's the way that I feel.
yeah.
Full honesty.
Hey, and you can ask my old lady, you can ask anybody, like, for real, dog. When I found that out about your carnal, that shit, it I felt it, like, for real, dog. I felt it for you, like.
I appreciate that, bro. It was a shitty moment in my life.
It wasn't even like, oh, that, hey, the homie just lost his shit, blah blah blah. It's not like that. It was like different because I know you, and well, I don't know you, but I know you,
Yeah.
and what I know about you is the way you feel. You have un pinche corazón for the people that are around you. Like, I feel like you would protect them with your life. You would rather give your life for their life.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a fair assumption or not, but that's just my assumption that I would get from you.
No, I appreciate that because homie was like my brother, full honesty. You know what I mean? It's shitty thinking about it. It's shitty talking about it. Here's the shitty part. Everybody who's watching this today, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see him in the videos. He's the guy that I cut all the time. You probably heard me say, this is my brother-in-law. That was my brother-in-law. You know what I mean? I had more of a relationship with him than I have sometimes with my own brothers because I live further away from my brother, so I don't get to see him as much. You know what I mean? And he was another one of my brothers. And he was a person who was fearless. He's like, fuck this shit. He was an OG, bro. Brown Prider from back in the day. He would just, fuck this, fuck a vaccine, fuck this and that. Excuse the language. Today we might be flagged forever. But the reality is, you know what I mean? He had that mentality, and he actually, in his last few days, I think he knew it was coming, and he said, it's on me. The reality, he said it. He felt it. He was a hell of an individual, and yeah, I would give a lot for him not to have passed. Full honesty, my man was 37 years old, bro. 37. You know what I mean? Living life. He was living his dream, bro. He was a tattoo artist, making money off of that. Like, that was his dream. His whole life, he was doing it. So that's what I tell people is, like, you never know who's on the other side of the screen or of the conversation or at the register when you're at a store. Like, I'm not saying this for one way or the other. I'm saying for both sides. just understand that people are going through shit. You know what I mean? Because you could be talking matches like, nah, this, fuck that, da. And the person in front of you may have just lost a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, and you don't know what you're saying, what it affects them, how it's affecting them, or vice versa. You know what I mean? The complete opposite of the story. Just respect the other person in front of you. That's all I say. Like, this conversation needs to be had way more often with people so that we can break this immaturity level of like, what was Fools Gone Wild call it? Nap banging. You know what I mean? Stop nap banging. Stop getting on the screen and saying, this about mask or this about non-masked. This and that. Just say it to the person in front of you. Have a real conversation and respect each other for it. That's all it is.
Hey, Joe Rogan said, treat somebody. How do you say it? Imagine the person being you just in another life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like, imagine that person is you just in their life. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our point of views, dog. We all see what we see every single day. Shit's normal to us. That ain't normal to others. Just being Chicanos, we have our own shit. Yeah. That shit that's normal to us. Like the tío getting drunk, fighting at the party, that, and maybe to another ethnicity that shit, like, what the fuck is wrong with your tío? Like,
yeah.
Oh,
so that's just him.
Yeah, he only fought one person today. Well, good job, tío. You're getting better. You're getting better.
High five.
And as okay, and maybe this is just in my way of life, but like when somebody, let's say, gets out the pen and does all this shit and he gets a job, he goes and buys his son a pair of shoes, and all of a sudden, oh, he's such a good father, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then somebody like us who have been doing it constantly for all these years, we don't ever get no acknowledgement. No. You know what I'm saying? But they're like, man, he's doing real good. He's a good dad. He bought his son a pair of sneakers, and they're the good ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I got my son. It doesn't even matter. I never compare myself though, but you know what I'm saying though, right? It's
yeah, like no, that, right? I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. It's all, we assume too much, or we don't try to even think of what's going on in front of us. You know what I mean? Assumptions are a hell of a thing, Like, don't judge people. And at the same time, if you want to judge someone, instead of judging someone, ask them like, hey, if somebody came up to him and was like, I want to know more about your culture. I want to know more about why you like tattoos. I want to know more about why you decided to grow a beard. I'd love to have that conversation, but don't go behind my back and talk shit or make assumptions that I do this or do that because of what I like to do, what I don't like to do, what I look like I might be. You know what I mean? It's like, why do we have to live in that type of world, bro? You know what I mean? Respect's a hell of a thing.
Judging somebody on the color of their skin, I have never understood that. I have never understood that. Yeah. I swear, a piece of shit is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I got to know them first, and then I drew that.
You understand that,
from knowing them.
Yes.
Like, oh, that was a piece of shit. I don't care if he's black. I don't care if he's white. That has never, ever became a dividing, a thing.
That is crazy. I don't know. It's a conversation that I invite more people to have respectfully, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? I know that most people, again, don't want to talk about it. I don't hear no other podcasts really talk about it without being so left or right, So we had talked about it with Phase before. It's like, do we talk politics? Do we talk COVID? Well, now you heard a little bit about our perspective,
Hey, and I gave my honest opinion, dog. And if I offended you, I didn't offend you.
No, you didn't.
You already know how I am, dog. Yeah. Like, that's how I feel.
I don't get offended over things like that because you're not affecting my everyday life by saying that. Why would I get offended? You know what I mean? Right. Plus, I know you have a reason to think that way. So why would I be offended? That's the way I tell people is like, worry about your shit. This is my favorite thing. I say two things in life. I have one tattooed on me. I'm probably going to get the other one tattooed one day. One is things change. Don't ever think that your mentality will stay the same for the rest of your life. And if you change, it means you're just evolving. So things change, right? And the other one is, ain't nobody got time for that shit. Like, just move on. Living in in a whining state of mind, in a negative state of mind, and looking at the past all the time. It's like that shit is back there. Leave it back there.
Leave it
You're
there.
living today so that you can have a better future. Worry about what's in front of you right now. Who's in front of you right now? You said it earlier that you think that I'm that type of person because family's first for me. Like my family is my family. I have friends who I consider my family because of the level of respect that they have for me and I have for them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Family
that's
isn't always blood related.
100%. You know what I mean? Some people that I've gone to work with that I consider my family and they consider me their family. And now I will always have a place for them in my life and they'll always have a place for me. I know if I ever need a favor, they're there for me just like I am there for them. That's my family. Learn to have more people like that, y'all. We need it. We need it as humans, I think right now, more than ever, to be honest. Yep.
Simone.